Hey there, and welcome to the real estate scene. I'm John Doering, founder of Scottsdale Living, your insider's guide to all things Scottsdale and beyond.
And I'm Courtney Latshaw. I bring a sharp eye for details and passion for connecting people to their dream homes.
I'm Stephanie Troy, and I'm all about negotiating the best deals and helping people turn their real estate dreams into reality.
Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor, or just here for the juicy stories, you're in the right place.
Think of us as your real estate guides, showing you the fun, the facts, and the future of the Phoenix metro market.
So grab your headphones, your coffee, or your favorite beverage, and let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the real estate scene. This is podcast 2, Dose, coming at you. John Doering, Courtney Latshaw. Yeah, we'll go with Courtney Latshaw. All right. Stephanie Troy. And then my favorite guy, Bob Daniels, right over here. His name's actually Johnny Walker. He's a legend in the Scottsdale real estate scene. Legend in his own mind, a legend in my mind. Fantastic guy. He is from Chicago, so we're definitely going to give him a little crap about that. But thanks for being on the show, bud. We love you, man.
Yeah, go Lions.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
Can you believe that came out of my mouth?
I know. It's fantastic. You know what I'd really like to hear is go Wings. Can we get that?
That's never.
That's never going to happen.
Tigers, that's not good.
So what's your take? What's going on in Scottsdale right now, real estate wise?
The lid got blown off this weekend.
You feel like it?
Yeah, I did an open house this weekend, and I had probably my best open house in 5 years. I bet I had 20 to 25 people come through. And this is a listing I've had 18 open houses at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like one I'm working. Yeah, and I got clients that want to buy my other listings, and they're investors that want to look at this. So, yeah, I think the lid got blown off. I'm not an expert, but I will tell you this. I think
technically you kind of are an expert.
Maybe a little.
Yeah,
I mean,
you've been around for a while.
You're old as dirt, dude. I mean,
well, right?
You put it that way. I didn't say that.
I think America is just happy that the election's over, regardless of who won.
I agree.
I think everybody's just like, okay, let's be done with that crap.
Like, regardless of who won, right?
Regardless.
Like, just like, thank goodness it's over.
And
now it's here, so now it's like, okay, honey, are we going to get serious about buying? I think they all came out last weekend.
And they're unequivocally going to be way happier if you lean into the microphone just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no problem. How you doing?
Hello.
I'm Joey.
He didn't pay me for that.
I thought it was Bob.
It's nothing paid for me with that. Yeah, so it's kind of like it did shake loose a little bit, right? Because it was ugly last year. I kind of felt like. I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh,
yeah,
definitely think so.
Yeah. 2024 was
year to
GFY.
Mm-hmm. It was a tough year for all of us, I think, in real estate. Even, I mean, whether you're a producer or a brand new agent, it was still a struggle for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think we're only going up from here.
Yeah.
And then there's a trickle down from that too. So, I mean, if real estate is bad, furniture sales are bad, rehab sales are bad, tile. I mean, it's a trickle down. So it was, I think it was bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the politicians. They had a black. You know who made money in 2024?
Who?
TV stations. They made a fortune.
Did they really?
Well, think all the ads that for the election. I mean, You know, they spent billions and billions and billions of dollars on ads. So
we're not going political, but one of them spent more money than she had, right? At the end of the day.
That's what I heard.
Oh. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Never heard of that.
No.
I'm pretty sure her accountant has gray hair now. For sure.
Right? No doubt. So, dude, tell us a story, man. You are the king of stories. Give us a real estate. How about a story? So here's
Johnny's the reason I don't go into the office.
Wait, we have an HR department now.
We got a story.
No, that is because we just get to talking for so long. Because Johnny does. He is the king of stories.
So we did mention prostitutes earlier. And Johnny's got a thing.
That is not why I go into the office to talk to Johnny. But okay.
Honey, I had nothing to do with that.
You were working the corner for a minute, right? Wasn't that one of your marketing
I have worked the corner. There's a video out there. So
there's always a video out there.
So from concept to post. 45 minutes. I'm in the office one morning, and our director of marketing this is years and years ago when my home group had like 200 agents. Mm-hmm. And the guy that did all the marketing, I said, hey, I got this idea. And he's like, let's do it. So I said, what if we went to the corner on the highway and I made a sign like a homeless person? Because I saw a homeless guy the day before. I'm like, and I put on there, I'm a realtor. I'll work for buyers and sellers. So he goes, perfect. I could stand over here and film it. And so we did it.
Yeah.
And I'm literally, there's a video you can just send.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm on the side of the freeway and we had a title person that was in on the video, and she pulls up and they're filming from inside the car. And she goes, are you serious right now? I go, yeah, well, I mean, yesterday there was a homeless guy here. I find people homes. I figured 2 + 2 = 6 or something. I ain't a member of Mensa or nothing, but, and honest to God, I got 4 leads on that. And 45 minutes after we posted it, I had a listing appointment.
Oh my gosh,
from that video.
Amazing.
I mean, the part that you glossed over is you had a speedo on.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's back in the day. Wait, I got to suck in my belly. Yeah.
But dude, I love your energy and the creative stuff that you're always doing.
Out of the box.
Fantastic.
Got to get out of the box.
Yeah.
You can't be like everybody else.
Courtney and I just absolutely love marketing, and you're one of the people that we look up to as far as your marketing strategy. It's the truth.
It's true.
Because you have
Like,
so many fun
things,
ideas.
Yeah, a couple things that you told us we went and did. I mean, I don't know if they were as successful as yours, but we tried.
Speedos next time.
Yes.
I'm going to stay away from that one, but yeah, my thing has always been, look at everybody's going, oh, rates are this and oh, the market's this. I think you just got to get a little different to people are like, wait a minute, maybe I should talk to that guy. He seems like if we don't find a house, at least we'll have fun.
Yeah, 100%, right? It's that personal connection, right?
Yeah.
You do that you let people in your car and just give them a bottle of booze, right?
Exactly.
Let's roll.
And his dog's ashes.
Yeah, and his dog's ashes.
Long story right there. We need you to pet the box. Oh wow, we might be cutting that one.
I'm staying away. I have nothing.
We might be cutting.
Jeez, look at the time. I gotta run.
Oh, you love it. You'll stay longer.
Am I turning red?
Yes, a little bit.
Oh my God.
So this is going to be an off the hook show. We're going to have a great time. But yeah, talk to us. Let's circle back a little bit to what's your favorite part of selling in Scottsdale? What's your favorite area of the city? What do you enjoy the most?
I like the shade corridors, kind of my swerve.
Well, you live, not to tell people where you live, but
1717.
Yeah.
It's 101.
2432.
There's a heavy bag on the side of the house.
Yeah. So since I've lived there for 25 years, I just feel like I'm even overqualified about the area. So if somebody comes in, and I tell new agents all the time, I said, look, if you're going to do an open house, find out where the closest animal hospital is before you even start. Because then everybody's got a pet now. So you should know, just so you know, there's an animal hospital. It's a quarter mile away.
Sure.
In case you have pet. You'd be amazed how many people are like, wow, that guy does know this neighborhood. The best Chinese food is here. The best hamburgers here. The best sports bar is here. So I feel like with that familiarity, I'm qualified to speak well about the area. Because little funny story. So I live at 101st and Shea. And there's a hospital. There's a hospital at 90th and Shea, and there's a cemetery at 92nd and Shea. And I tell people, you can literally be born in the hospital and then die and be buried across the and never leave the Shea corridor. Everything you need is right here, except for cars. You can't buy a car. So, I tell people that, and they have the same reaction, like. Either they're like, what? Or they're laughing. They're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And you might not realize this, but in Arizona, you have to be licensed to sell grapes. So you're getting a little kick on that too, right?
Oh.
No, I'm not, but I'm going to talk to that guy today. His name's Gino.
So talking about Scottsdale, we had this conversation before. You think Shea's North Scottsdale?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So
I do, because I moved here in
I
'86.
think we went Frank Lloyd Wright.
I think we did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I think Shea. I mean,
That makes North Scottsdale huge.
I think Frank Lloyd Wright was or is now. But when I moved here, I lived right around Camelback and Scottsdale Road, and that was. And I was dating a girl that lived like way north. It was like, oh, she's geographically undesirable because it's so far away.
Well, plus in those days you had a horse and carriage.
I did,
right? So
and electricity was coming soon.
Exactly.
So
Cummings.
I bought a blow dryer, and it was all good for me. But yeah, I think there's like an intermediate spot because we've got Old Town that's very recognizable. Everybody, Old Town, and then you got North Scottsdale. And I guess you have to call the Shea corridor kind of North
central,
Scottsdale,
maybe?
more central. Yeah, I think it's great. You're close to North Scottsdale, and you're close to So yeah,
I do love the Shea Cactus Corridor, right?
I love
bigger
it.
lots,
I
nice
like that
houses.
area.
It's got a great feel to it.
But here's let's go back to being an expert on an area, and I'll kind of give you a perfect example. And this is just real estate in general. So where I live, there's 110 houses in my little subdivision.
Hey, I counted mine the other day too. 56.
How many?
56.
Okay,
Nice.
even better.
Nice.
We have no HOA, so everybody kind of takes care of their property. We have a Facebook page that, like, if somebody gets sick, we can post it and everybody brings food.
Yeah,
It's a really cool
That
thing.
is really cool.
It's really
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good idea.
I started
Yeah,
that.
page.
That's a really,
I started that after your starting
Scottsdale living.
I did. I mean, that was genius. So,
Nice
so
plug.
our little area, the houses are all like 750 to $1 million.
Yeah.
And then if you go across 104th Street, it's a completely different builder, and those houses are 450 to 750. And then if you go one block north, there's houses that are $2, $3, $4, $5, $8 million.
Yeah.
So for a realtor, if you're comping out properties, like what's
You got to
my
know
house
what you're doing, yeah.
You got to know what you're doing. You can't cross certain streets because they're just not the same comparables. So I think knowledge, especially knowledge of the area you're specializing in, is super important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for, like, I do a lot of business with relocation, you know that. So, people don't know the valley.
Billboards?
I am still running.
I love it. That's so cool.
They're all in
Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I took them down for when COVID hit because nobody was driving.
Yes.
So. And then actually, so when I put them up, I was getting pictures. My friends would see them up, and I can't even tell you what the pictures were. But it was my sign in the background.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can't put that on Facebook.
Yeah. It went straight to your
cleaner
OnlyFans
version,
page,
yes.
didn't it? It was
Went straight to my trash bin and hope that nobody can ever resuscitate that file. So.
Yeah. So, walk us through a little bit like what you do with your clients. I mean,
How come we're not
what's your
talking to
value
these
that you provide there?
You had a guess.
I think just being honest with them and no BS. I mean, and I tell people that's the first thing I tell them. I'm not for everybody, because I'm going to be brutally honest. If I get feedback, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to send you exactly what people are saying. And the other thing is, I try to tell people, look, this is an emotional thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. This is business. This is how I feed my family. Don't get me wrong. I can get emotionally involved too, because I'm happy for you or sad that they wouldn't get something. But you have to kind of separate that. And I tell people, let me be the business part of this. You guys keep your emotion in it, but at certain points, you're going to have to check your emotion and make a good business decision on whether or not this is the right home for you, whether or not this is the right sales price for your home. It might not be what you thought it was going to be. And so, you just got to kind of take the emotion out. So just being real and authentic with people it's worked for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Love that.
Since the market's changed a little bit as far as buyers, do you prefer working with buyers now or sellers, or does it just you don't really have an opinion?
I'm a lot like John. I'm a real estate whore. I don't care. Buyers, sellers, investors, renters. I don't. I really don't. I tend to do more buyers because of my relocation program, and I've really got that down to a science.
And your veterans, because you work with a lot
and
of
I
veterans.
do veterans. And now with veterans,
Let's clarify that Navy. So, okay.
Navy, not Army.
I'm the Army vet. He was on the boat with a whole bunch of other dudes.
Right. Yeah. And I wasn't in a tent with a whole bunch of other dudes. So veterans are a little different. And John and I share the same feeling on veterans. I mean, they all served our country. They deserve our very, very best. So, so my program and John's very similar. The whole, I'm going to shoot you straight. And can I swear on here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there's no bullshit in it. With a veteran, they really appreciate that. They're like, and there's a trust. It's a brotherhood that John and I are members of. No matter what branch you served in, we're all brothers in arms. Yeah, well, except the Coast Guard.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I got a Space Force guy last week.
Oh, did you really?
No. But that would be cool, right?
Yeah, a couple cocktails on the
my first Space Force guy. Space Force. Yeah.
So if you have a home buyer then that has a VA loan that they're pre-qualified for, back in 2020 and 2021, that was like pretty hard for us to get them into a house, right? But now are you seeing that it's a lot easier because the market has changed?
Okay, so we're opening up a whole can of worms with this.
That's okay.
I
Let's
think
do it.
Do it.
I
Yeah.
think, and I really, really try not to get political, but this is a political subject. So when Trump was in office 4 years ago,
Mhm.
things got much better for veterans as far as the process. And then when the last guy got in, kind of everything changed, and it wasn't as easy. So I'm anticipating a big change coming in January, which will be good for veterans, and I'll just leave it at that. So it's
But I mean, there's that seller connotation that they feel the VA loan's not as good as other loans, right? It's ridiculous.
so the problem is it's the realtors that
Yeah.
are screwing it up because they don't understand they think they see VA and they're like, oh, no, we don't want. Well, why would you say that?
I know,
I-
right?
What homework have you
we
done to
all
make
agree,
that
yeah.
to make that a bad thing?
Mhm.
Because there's like it's like black licorice. Oh, nobody don't put black licorice out. Everybody hates that. Well, no, not everybody hates it. You know, so
I happen to like black.
I love
licorice.
black licorice.
I
Right?
knew she was going to say that.
Yeah, I
That
do.
is
I
such
do.
a weird analogy. I love it.
Yeah. No, really.
Good one.
Think about it. And it's kind of like you gotta take care of the objections before they even come up.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I believe this, and I say this a lot. There's a certain percentage. I won't say what I believe the percentage is, but there's a percentage of realtors out there that I'm not sure how they got a driver's license, let alone a real estate license. It's
We
like
can all
it's like,
agree with you.
Yeah.
maybe you should do your homework a little more and understand what this is. So any
We're back to
realtor,
grooming cats, right? Exactly.
go back to Starbucks.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
sure you were really good there. So I try to address it. If we find a property, I try to
Yeah.
call the other agent and say, how much do you know about VA?
Yeah.
And ask the question. And if they don't have a good answer, then I'm just going to assume that they don't know.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to address it that way. And that way I don't make them feel like they're stupid,
Mhm.
even though they are.
Mhm.
And you just kind of address it before. Look, we're going to be writing an offer. This is going to be a VA loan. Let me tell you the advantages of VA. And
Mhm.
plus, not only that, but this is somebody that served our country.
Oh, 100%.
And the reason that you have a job is because this man
Mhm.
served his country or this woman. So I've always done that. I always try to face the objections before they even come and give somebody an out to not feel stupid. Like,
Mhm.
you know, what questions do you have about this? Are you familiar that the VA loan does this and it's this and this? And they're like, oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hours it takes to get a license to cut hair in Arizona?
More than a real estate license, probably, huh?
1,800 hours.
What?
And it takes 90 hours to get a license to practice real estate law
Yeah.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
That should,
But it
that
takes a
should,
year to pass the test.
well, now that we know it took you a year. Okay, so now we learned something about Courtney. A year?
No.
Or you very,
It's so true, though. I mean, we talked about that last episode too, right? I mean, it's hard. The other side that you're working with, it
Yeah.
should be a professional with you.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, what's the percentage? Half the time, they really don't know what they're doing. You know?
yesterday,
That's good.
I get an aligned request to show a property at 4:15. I call my clients. I said, hey, we got a 4:15 showing. Can you have the house ready? Can you guys be out? Yeah, we'll make that work. It's going to be hard, but we'll make it work. I'm like, okay. So I send a go ahead, you can show it. 10 minutes later, she sends a cancellation.
Oh my
So I call my clients. I said, hey, they canceled. Things happen. I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe, whatever. And then she calls me an hour later and she says, yeah, we still want to see it at 4:15 again. And I'm like, okay. So I call my clients. I'm like, they're back on,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened. It could have a good excuse. I don't know. They're like, they're kind of, this is a pain in the ass, but okay, yeah, we'll have it ready. So I send her the approval to show it at 4:15. She sends me another one at 4 o'clock now. She wants to see it at 4 o'clock. So I just said, yeah, my clients will be fine with that. And I just text them, she's coming at 4. She shows up at 4:30.
I knew you were going to
It's like,
say that.
it's like, if that's not a perfect example of what we deal with
Yeah.
every day. And it's
Mhm.
like, it's almost like, I almost hope that they don't like the house, because if she writes a contract,
Right.
this
That's
is going to be a
exactly it.
nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do my job and her job,
Yeah.
or it's never going to get done. And when that happens, now all of a sudden her inability to complete the process is taking money out of my pocket.
Mhm.
So now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care if you don't make any money this
Yeah.
year because you're an idiot,
Yeah.
but I'm not an idiot and I have mouths to feed and bills to
Mhm.
pay. And, so it's just tough.
Well,
It's
because
just
it does.
tough.
It makes your job that much more difficult. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because the sellers, they don't know. They only
Right.
know what you're telling them.
Mhm.
So if you can't even get somebody to properly communicate, and then you have to rely that information back to your client, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and I've had issues with realtors where you try to be kind. You try to say, "Look, I've been doing this a long time. Let me help you through this.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you understand that you're not my broker. You don't tell me what to do." I'm like,
Yeah.
look at if you don't want to make the commission on this deal, I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
But I'm not okay with losing my commission.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have an issue. So why don't you just take a step back? Everything's almost done. Let me take care of everything. You're going to get paid your commission. Let me just get us to the finish line.
Mhm.
F you, my broker. This, I said, okay, all right, fine. So I call the broker, tell
Yeah.
him what's going on. He goes, I got it. I'll talk to him.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden now, with his tail between his legs, he's like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we going to do? It says, so there's an answer sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes our business tougher and tougher and tougher. So
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most amazing things about you, and I'd love for you to help people understand this, is team and loyalty, right? So you're a loyal guy that's got a great team that you work with. Can you kind of explain that to like the consumer out there that doesn't necessarily understand what that means?
yeah. Can I say who my team is?
Oh yeah, let
Okay,
us know, dude. Totally.
So when
Lemon
I
on your shirt.
I recently joined a team
Yeah.
and everybody at my home group. So I'm one of the first people that ever joined my home group. I
Yeah.
was there from the beginning and I joined a team and everybody's like, Johnny
Yeah.
joined a team. Why would Johnny join
Yeah.
a team? He like teaches everybody. So I explain it this way. I have 3 piles on my desk. This pile is, I got to get this done today. There's no excuse. I'm not leaving the office until it's done. Absolutely. Second pile is if I get through all this stuff, then I get into the second pile.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I got to address. And then I got a third pile.
Yeah.
And that's my orphan pile. It's like, but it's the most important pile I have because it's all the stuff that I have to do to prospect for new business, to
Mhm.
contact my past clients, to send out good stuff that's not silly, to make phone calls, just all the stuff I really need to do. So, and I keep looking at it every day, and that pile kept getting higher and higher and higher. So finally, one day I talked to my title rep, who's my business partner
Mhm.
and my lender. And I said, I got to find a solution to this because I can't ask you guys to do this. You can't set it all up, build it, find the right apps, all that stuff. So I found the K Grant Group and Andrea Lilienfeld, who's the owner of K, is the most authentic
Mm.
person I know in this business. She's just so real and
Uh-huh.
she's a little quirky but she's just real. She's
Yeah.
just, and they addressed everything I had. So I took that entire pile, plugged it into the K Grant Group, and it's even better than I could have imagined.
I love
It's
it.
like
That's
all
fantastic.
that stuff is,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work to do on my part to
Yeah.
get it really, really working. But I'll give you a perfect example. I joined them, I believe, November 1st,
Mhm.
and Veterans Day is November 11th. So she sends me an email. She goes, I need the name and address of every veteran that you've done business with. I'm like, okay. She goes, and I need it by tomorrow. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that went in pile number 1. I
Yeah.
got to get that done. So I get it all done. I get it to her. And I said, okay, here it is. What do you need this for? She goes, well, Veterans Day is coming up. Every single veteran got a gift from me through K Grant,
That's
thanking
great.
them for their service. That's something I should have been doing for years and
Yeah,
years and years. And now it's just like, it's plugged in. So
Yeah.
it's,
I
yeah.
love that. Yeah.
I need
It's
your note,
awesome.
your piece of paper so we can write that down on things to do.
You know me, I share everything with you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
you
happy
do.
to share
You really
everything.
do.
You
Yeah.
do. You don't
Yeah.
withhold it. You're not like gatekeeping information.
Yeah,
ever.
no.
You're always sharing it, and it's hard to find other people who will
Yeah.
actually put in the
Yeah.
work to
Yeah.
to do good things.
Right.
Yeah. You can always go to
So-
Johnny and he'll always help you, right?
Mhm.
I met with corporate yesterday. They have 4 or 5 classes that I have in the can ready to go. And,
Uh-huh.
and they said, we want you to teach some of these classes. And I said, well, do I still have to take the parental advisory warning off the first? And since now we're part of Fathom, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you definitely need to leave that on there because it's like real stuff. It's like, look,
Yeah.
I can bullshit you for an hour and a half, but,
Right.
or do you want me to shoot you straight? This is
Yeah.
how it works. And
Mhm.
sorry, but my Southside Chicago comes out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, you're gonna fuck this up if you don't do this.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't come to the class if you can't handle that. Yeah, you've been to those.
Yeah, great guy. So that's the real estate scene. John Doering, Courtney, Stephanie, and our favorite guest, Johnny Walker, fantastic Scottsdale realtor, part of my home group, and now Fathom. And thanks for being here. We really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me
Johnny.
here. Yeah, I appreciate it.
The Real Estate Scene is brought to you by Scottsdale Living.
If you have questions or topics you want us to cover, send us a message.
Don't forget to subscribe and join us every week for the Inside Scoop.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Real Estate Scene.